All right, so today we're diving deep
Deep dive.
into the world of Negroamaro.
I love it.
Have you heard of this one?
Yes, I love Negroamaro.
Okay, good, because we've got like a whole stack of articles here
Wow.
all about this Italian grape.
That's a lot of reading.
I know, right? And we're going to make you an expert
Okay.
on Negroamaro by the end of this deep dive.
All right, I'm ready.
So, it's like from its history,
Okay.
its origins,
Mm-hmm.
the taste,
I like that part.
even like what to pair it with,
Ooh, the food pairings.
all that good stuff.
Oh.
It's interesting. It's only recently become like kind of globally recognized.
I feel like a lot of Italian grapes are having this moment
Yeah.
where they're like being rediscovered and enjoyed.
It's almost like a hidden gem, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Even the name itself is interesting, right? Negroamaro,
Yes.
which in Italian means
black bitter.
black. When I think about that name,
Yeah.
I wonder, like,
Yeah,
if they hired a marketing consultant.
Right. Like, was that intentional?
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely memorable.
Yeah.
I'll say that, right? Like
Yeah.
you hear black bitter and you're like, what is that?
I'm intrigued.
And that black part definitely fits
Okay.
because it refers to the grape's dark color
Yeah.
and the bitter part.
What about that?
It refers to this kind of subtle bitterness that you find in younger Negroamaro wines.
So it's not like super bitter.
It's not like astringent.
Right. It adds this intrigue and this complexity to the flavor.
Okay, yeah. So it's not about being bitter, it's about adding depth.
Right.
It's kind of like I don't know, like a dark chocolate with a hint of sea salt.
Oh, I like where you're going.
Right. It's that little edge.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like it's not just one note. Yeah, exactly.
There's multiple layers going on there.
Okay, so speaking of intriguing,
Yeah.
this grape has a really long history.
It does.
Like, some sources even trace it back to ancient Greece.
I know. Can you imagine?
I mean, that's amazing.
A grape with roots that old.
Right.
Like, it's been around for so long.
Yeah, so that leads me to the question.
Yeah.
Like, why is it only now getting popular?
That's a great question.
Right. Like, what's changed
Yeah, yeah.
if it's been around for so long?
It's interesting. It's been cultivated in Puglia, in Italy,
Oh.
for centuries, but it seems like maybe the world is finally ready
Okay.
for a taste of something a bit different.
Yeah.
Beyond the usual suspects, like your Cabernet.
Right, the standards.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So people are looking for more adventurous wines.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Puglia?
Mhm.
That's in Italy, right? Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Geography is not my strong suit.
It's the heel of the boot.
Oh, the heel of the boot.
Yes.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
I can picture it.
Yeah, so when you think of Negroamaro,
Yeah.
I want you to think
Okay.
sunny days,
Okay.
dry air warm.
Mm-hmm. I like where this is going.
It's just like radiating from the earth itself. It's just, it's the perfect.
So perfect to grow grapes.
Yes, for these grapes
Yeah.
to soak up all that
Yeah.
sun,
Yeah.
develop their own character.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I'm practically booking my flight to Puglia as we speak. Just that just sounds amazing.
It's beautiful.
So we've got the climate,
Mhm.
but what about the soil?
The soil, like, does that?
Crucial.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call this terroir,
Okay.
which is basically like everything about the environment
Okay.
that influences the wine.
Okay.
And for Negroamaro,
The limestone and clay soils of Salento,
okay.
which is a sub-region of Puglia,
Yeah.
it's like its secret weapon.
So I'm guessing these soils
Yeah.
give like this earthiness.
Yeah, this connection to the land.
Yeah, okay.
So limestone,
Yeah.
think of it like a thirsty sponge.
Okay.
Keeps the vines from getting like waterlogged
Okay.
in the heat.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then you've got the clay,
Okay.
which is more like a reservoir.
Okay.
Make sure they have a sip,
Okay.
even when it's dry.
So it's like the perfect balance
Yes.
of like wet and dry.
It really is.
I see.
And that combination
Yeah.
gives the Negroamaro wines this structure and
Yeah.
these really distinct mineral notes.
Ooh, I love mineral notes.
You get like almost like a little bit of
Yeah.
salinity sometimes.
Like you can taste the land.
You're tasting the essence of the place.
That's so cool.
I know.
So, okay, let's talk about the grape itself. Like, what's special about this grape?
So picture this
Okay.
small spherical berries,
Okay.
thick skins,
Sorry.
And those skins are packed with tannins.
Oh, tannins.
Yeah, those are the compounds that give you that dry sensation in your mouth.
Okay, yeah.
Like when you sip black tea.
Oh, yeah.
You get that little...
Like a little grippy feeling.
Yeah, a little grippy pucker.
Yeah.
Okay. So tannins contribute to structure and aging potential.
Okay, so those thick skins mean like they can...
Yeah. The Negroamaro wines can age gracefully, so...
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and they become more complex over time.
So we've got these like powerful grapes growing in a perfect environment.
Perfect place.
How do we turn these grapes into like delicious wine?
All right, so this is where it gets fun.
Okay.
We have this really interesting blend of like old and new happening with Negroamaro winemaking.
Okay.
So traditionally, they used large cement tanks for fermentation.
Okay.
And they'd age the wine in large oak casks. Like, it's got that old world charm.
Yeah, yeah.
But you also have like a modern approach now with stainless steel tanks and temperature control.
So it's like tradition meeting technology.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's a cool juxtaposition.
I think it's really cool. And what's remarkable is that that blend allows the winemakers to craft this really diverse range of Negroamaro styles.
Okay.
So you get like your easy drinking everyday wines, and then you get these like complex age-worthy bottles.
Oh, so there's something for everyone.
There is.
Okay, so we've covered like the history, the region, the winemaking. Okay. Now for the million-dollar question.
Okay.
What does Negroamaro taste like?
All right, so imagine biting into a dark chocolate bar.
Okay, I'm with you.
Infused with sun-dried cherries.
Oh, I like this.
And just a hint of tobacco. That's what a full-bodied, oak-aged Negroamaro can taste like.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It's so good.
But are all Negroamaros like that?
No. There's a whole spectrum of flavors.
Okay.
So you get like lighter, fruitier styles that are bursting with cherry and raspberry.
Okay.
Those are perfect for just like a warm afternoon.
Yeah.
Maybe with a little plate of charcuterie.
Now you're speaking my language. Okay, so we got dark and brooding, bright and fruity. What else is there?
Well, you get these little hints of spice.
Okay.
Like black pepper, licorice. And some of them even have this like really savory, earthy note.
Yeah.
Almost like forest floor after the rain.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Okay, it's a chameleon. It's kind of like transforming with each sip.
Exactly.
Wow, but with something this complex and interesting, what do you pair it with?
Well, what are you having for dinner tonight?
Good question.
Let's start there.
I was thinking about making a pasta with sausage and peppers.
Ooh, perfect.
Would that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Negroamaro loves hearty Italian.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
It's way more versatile than you think.
I'm surprised.
It can hold its own against a lot of dishes.
Like what?
Like bold flavors.
Okay.
So think beyond Italy for a second.
Okay.
What about like spicy Mexican carnitas?
Okay.
Or a rich Indian curry.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
I know, right?
But I guess with the structure and those earthy notes, it could really complement those spices.
It really can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, you're making me rethink.
I know, right?
My whole approach to wine pairing.
That's the beauty of Negroamaro. It's a wine that encourages you to experiment.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's like a rule breaker.
It is. Okay.
Yeah. But speaking of rules,
yeah,
there's got to be some kind of like quality control in the world of Negroamaro.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like how do we know that we're like getting the good stuff?
So this is where Salish Salentino comes in. It's like it's the most important appellation for Negroamaro.
Salish Salentino.
Yeah.
Is that a place?
It's a place in a type of wine.
Okay.
Salice Salentino. DOC.
DOC.
Yeah.
What does that stand for?
Denominazione di origine controllata.
Oh, okay. And that's...
But DOC is easier.
Okay, DOC.
Yeah.
So it's like a seal of authenticity?
It is. It guarantees that the wine comes from a specific area and meets certain standards.
Okay.
And for a wine to be called Salice Salentino, it has to be at least 70% Negroamaro.
So that's like the main ingredient.
It's the star of the show.
I got it. So Salice Salentino DOC equals top tier Negroamaro.
Top tier, high quality.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Are there other DOCs we should know about?
Yeah, so you want to also keep an eye out for other denominations.
Okay.
Like Negroamaro del Salento, IGT.
IGT, what's that?
Yeah, so IGT stands for Indicazione Geografica Tipica.
Okay.
So it's a little broader than DOC.
Okay.
But it still means that the wine is from a specific region.
Okay, so it's like a step down.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
But it's still a good indicator. Okay.
For sure.
All right, so DOC, IGT.
Yeah.
Got it.
Got it.
What else should we be paying attention to on the label?
So you might see Riserva or Vecchio.
Okay.
And those terms tell you that the wine has been aged for a longer time.
So longer aging equals...
More complexity.
Oh, more depth.
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so we've like decoded the labels.
We did it.
We've like explored the terroir. We've like learned about the winemaking. What else? Like about Puglia.
Oh, there's so much more.
Yeah.
We've talked about traditional winemaking, but there's a whole other side to this.
Oh, really?
Which is modern techniques.
Okay, so this is like the new wave.
Yeah, that's changing the game.
Ooh. I love learning about this stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so tell me, what kind of innovations are we talking about?
So one of the biggest advancements is temperature-controlled fermentation. Traditionally, it was all about these large concrete tanks relying on the like natural yeast and just the temperature of the air.
Okay.
But now, with temperature control,
the
winemakers can really fine-tune the fermentation process.
So they have more control.
They have so much more control.
Okay.
They can bring out different notes.
Oh, wow.
Different aromas.
So it's like very precise.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like conducting a symphony.
I love that analogy. So, okay, so they've got that. What other tricks?
Okay, so another cool development is the use of different oak barrels for aging. Okay. Traditionally, they would use large oak casks, which would add like subtle oaky flavor and allow for slow oxidation.
Okay.
But now winemakers are experimenting with smaller barrels made from different types of oak.
Ooh, like what kind of oak?
So you have French oak, American oak, Hungarian oak.
Wow.
And each one adds its own unique twist.
So it's like they're choosing spices.
Yeah.
But instead of, cumin and coriander, you're using oak and thyme.
It's like thyme is an ingredient.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So any other like modern techniques that are like changing the game?
Okay, one that's becoming more popular is called micro-oxygenation.
Okay.
Which is basically introducing tiny amounts of oxygen into the wine during the aging process.
And what does that do?
It helps to soften the tannins and develop more complex aromas.
So it's like giving the wine like a spa treatment.
Yeah, like a little TLC.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But with all this, like talk about technology, are we risking losing that traditional like
that's a good question.
Handcrafted feel that makes Negroamaro so special?
Well, I think it's all about balance.
Okay.
The best winemakers are the ones who can bridge the gap between tradition and innovation.
Okay.
So they're respecting the heritage of the Negroamaro, but they're also embracing the new possibilities.
Yeah.
So they're not trying to replace the old ways. They're just like refining them.
It's like taking a classic recipe and like giving it a modern twist.
Exactly.
Yeah, but without like losing the soul of the dish.
Right. It still tastes like what it should.
Awesome. So it sounds like the future of Negroamaro is in good hands.
I think so.
Now I'm dying to know.
Yeah.
Like, who are some of these rock star producers?
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
There's so many talented winemakers in Puglia.
Okay.
But a few that come to mind are Scola Sarmenti.
Okay.
Cantin Menhir Salento.
Okay.
And Tenute Rubino.
All right. I'm writing these down.
Yeah, you should check them out.
Okay. Those are going straight to the top of my wine shopping list.
Good.
But before we go there, what about aging?
Aging, yes.
Can Negroamaro age?
It can.
Okay.
So the answer, as with most things in wine, is it depends.
Depends. Okay.
Yeah, some are meant to be enjoyed young and fresh, and some have the structure and the complexity to age for years, decades even.
So how can I tell which ones are like keepers?
All right, so look for wines with higher tannins, good acidity, and concentration of fruit. Those are the ones that have like the backbone to stand up to time.
Okay, so and as they age, what happens?
The tannins soften, the fruit develops, and then you get these incredible tertiary aromas.
Tertiary aromas, like what?
Leather, tobacco.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Earthiness?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like an adventure.
It is.
It's like slowly unraveling.
Yeah, it's like a slow burn.
Okay. It's beautiful.
So, okay, we've talked about the grape,
yeah,
the region, the winemaking. But what about the people?
The people.
The people behind it all.
The heart and soul of any wine region are the people.
Yeah.
And in Puglia, you have these families who have been tending vineyards for centuries.
Wow.
Passing their knowledge down.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
It's a way of life.
Yeah.
It's a connection to the land that runs deep.
And in a world that's so focused on technology.
Right.
Globalization.
Yeah.
How are they preserving?
It's a delicate dance.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
You have some winemakers who hold steadfastly to the old ways.
Right.
They see themselves as guardians of the heritage. You know, they want to do things the way their ancestors did.
It's like they're carrying a torch.
They are.
Right.
Yeah, they're keeping that flame alive.
Wow.
But at the same time, you have this new generation of winemakers who are embracing technology, bringing fresh ideas.
So it's like
it's a conversation between the past and the present.
It's a blend of old and new.
Yeah, it's really cool to see.
Okay, so tell me, who are some of these?
Oh, there are so many.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose a few, I would start with Francesca Mara of Cantine du Palme.
Okay.
He is a visionary leader.
Okay.
He's dedicated to producing high-quality, terroir-driven wines.
That's amazing.
And he's a champion of sustainability.
Okay.
He's got eco-friendly practices in the vineyards and in the winery.
That's amazing.
It's really inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not only like crafting these like exceptional wines, but also ensuring that like the land is taken care of.
Yes, for generations to come. It's a long-term vision.
Okay. Any other winemakers that come to mind?
Yes. So Severino Garofano of Agricole Valone. He is passionate about organic and biodynamic farming. He believes that it's the purest way to express the true character of the Negroamaro grape.
And what about his wines?
His wines are so elegant, so complex, and they have this like real depth of flavor.
So it's like another like really inspiring.
Yeah, he's a leader in the movement.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yes, I have to mention Lisa Gilby of Masseria Livelli.
Okay.
She is a trailblazer. She's a woman in a male-dominated industry. Yeah. And her wines are just a beautiful expression of her passion and dedication.
That's fantastic. It's so empowering to see women like her like breaking barriers.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's really inspiring.
Okay, so their stories are just like a testament to like the resilience and creativity and passion that like thrives in Puglia.
For sure.
Okay, but before we get too like caught up in the human element, let's bring it back to the wine.
Okay.
You know, we talked about different styles of Negroamaro.
Yeah.
But one thing that's been on my mind is food pairing.
Food pairing.
We touched on some like classic Italian pairings. But where else does Negroamaro shine?
Well, you know, Negroamaro is such a versatile grape.
Okay.
It's got this boldness, the structure, that little hint of bitterness that makes it a great match for a surprising range of cuisines.
Okay, give me some examples.
All right, so if you love bold flavors, a full-bodied, oak-aged Negroamaro would be incredible with grilled meats.
Okay, like what kind?
Like smoky barbecue brisket or a juicy Argentinian steak.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
The tannins in the wine cut through the richness of the meat.
Yeah.
And then those like dark fruit and spice notes just complement the smoky flavors.
You're making me hungry.
I know, right?
But what about something a bit more like exotic?
Ooh, exotic.
Can Negroamaro handle the heat?
It can.
Okay. So last time we were talking about those Negroamaro producers in Puglia.
Yes, those dedicated folks.
Really dedicated.
Embracing those sustainable practices, really ensuring the long-term health of their vineyards.
Amazing, really inspiring stuff.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it kind of sets the stage for this deep dive into Puglia itself.
Ah, Puglia.
Right. We know it's in southern Italy.
Beautiful.
The heel of the boot.
But what makes it so special for growing grapes like Negroamaro?
All right, close your eyes for a second.
Okay.
Imagine rolling hills.
Okay.
Ancient olive groves. Vineyards bathed in sunshine.
I like where this is going.
And the sparkling blue waters of both the Adriatic and Ionian seas.
Okay, you had me at sparkling blue waters.
It's gorgeous.
So it's more than just, like, the climate and the soil.
It is.
It's, like, the whole vibe.
It's the culture, the energy of the place.
Okay. So that really makes it special.
Yes, it's very
Winemaking in Puglia is, like, really connected to the land and the people.
Deeply connected.
Like a way of life, right?
It's a way of life.
Passed down.
Generation to generation.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
It's like that sense of history.
It adds so much depth to the wines.
Yeah. So I'm curious, how is the winemaking scene in Puglia today?
So it's a fascinating blend.
Okay.
You have these family-run wineries.
That have been doing things the same way for centuries.
Oh, wow.
Preserving the ancient techniques. But you also have this new generation of winemakers who are really pushing boundaries, experimenting, bringing like these fresh ideas.
Okay, so it's that bridge.
Yeah, it's like a bridge between past and present.
Yeah, like honoring tradition, but also looking to the future.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah.
You have that deep respect for tradition, but there's this thirst for innovation.
That's cool. It creates that.
This dynamic energy. Anything is possible.
Okay, I'm sold. I need to visit.
You do?
Yes,
Okay, go.
But before I book that flight, let's talk about what makes the terroir in Puglia so perfect for growing Negroamaro.
Yeah, so we talked about the climate.
Yeah, like sunny, dry, warm.
Perfect for grapes.
Right, it's like a grape's dream vacation.
It is. And those long sunny days are essential for Negroamaro to develop those complex flavors and aromas. It's like nature's slow cooking method, you know? It just lets the grapes ripen perfectly.
Okay, so the sunshine's like nature's flavor booster.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, but it can't all be sunshine and rainbows, right?
Well, that's where the wind comes in.
Okay, the wind.
So you have the breezes blowing off the Adriatic and the Ionian seas.
Okay.
And it's nature's air conditioning.
So like a natural cooling system.
Yes.
Okay.
It helps to moderate the temperatures.
Okay.
Keep those grapes from getting stressed.
So smart.
I know, right?
Okay, and then of course we have the soil.
Yes, the soil. We can't forget about the soil.
Limestone, clay. What's the deal with these soils?
Okay, so limestone is like a natural drainage system.
Okay.
It allows water to pass through quickly, which is super important in a warm, dry climate.
Yeah. Okay.
And as a bonus, limestone adds this minerality to the wines.
Ooh.
Like you get a little hint of seashells or wet stones.
I never thought about it that way.
It's like the soil's whispering secrets.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what about the clay?
Clay is amazing because it holds on to water.
Okay.
Think of it like a reservoir, providing moisture even when things get dry.
Okay, so it's like that perfect balance again.
Perfect balance, yes.
Right.
Limestone keeps things from being too wet, and the clay makes sure there's always a little something there.
That's amazing. Nature's perfect recipe.
It really is.
For Negroamaro.
It's like they planned it.
It really is.
I know.
That's incredible. I never realized how much was going on beneath the surface.
There's a whole world happening underground.
But it's not all about nature, right?
Right. We can't forget about the humans.
The winemakers.
The winemakers. They're like the conductors of this whole symphony.
Yeah.
They understand the terroir. They have a passion for it.
Yeah.
They make those crucial decisions in the vineyard.
Okay.
Like when to harvest. And in the winery, but like fermentation and aging.
So they're artists?
They are artists.
Collaborating with nature.
Collaborating with nature.
To make this masterpiece.
I love that.
Okay.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
So speaking of respecting heritage.
Yeah.
I have a confession.
Okay.
I'm a bit of a label geek.
Oh, I love that.
I love deciphering all those
the label
terms and symbols.
Yeah.
So can we have a crash course on Negroamaro labels?
A crash course. All right. Let's do it.
What should we be looking for?
Okay, decoding wine labels, it can be a puzzle, but it's a fun one.
Okay.
So first, you're obviously looking for Negroamaro.
Right, got to make sure it's the real deal.
Yeah, make sure it's the star of the show.
Okay.
But there's more to it than that.
Okay, so what else?
So next, you want to look for the Denominazione di Origine Controllata, or DOC for short.
DOC.
DOC.
Like a seal of authenticity?
Yeah. Ensures that the wine comes from a specific region and follows strict guidelines.
Okay.
Yeah.
So DOC is like a stamp of approval.
It is. It's a guarantee of quality and origin.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And Salice Salentino.
Salice Salentino.
Is that a DOC?
It is. Salice Salentino DOC is one of the most important appellations for Negroamaro. It's located on the Salento Peninsula, which is considered like the birthplace of Negroamaro.
Okay, so a Salice Salentino DOC.
Yes.
It's like getting a passport stamp.
It is.
From the grape's homeland.
I love that analogy.
Wow.
Yes, it's perfect. And remember, to be Salice Salentino, it has to be at least 70% Negroamaro.
It's like the main ingredient.
The star of the show.
Okay, got it. Salice Salentino DOC.
Yes.
Top tier Negroamaro.
Yes, the good stuff.
Are there any other DOCs we should be looking out for?
Another important one is Brindisi DOC.
Brindisi?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on the Adriatic coast.
Okay.
These wines are known for being robust, age-worthy, and they might be blends.
Okay.
But Negroamaro plays a big role in a lot of them.
Okay, so Brindisi DOC.
Yeah.
For like a bolder style.
Yeah, bolder style.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about IGT?
IGT, yes.
I've seen that on some labels.
So IGT stands for Indicazione Geografica Tipica, which is a little bit more relaxed than DOC.
Okay.
It still tells you the wines from a specific region,
but
it allows for more flexibility with the grapes and the winemaking.
Okay, so it's like a step down.
Yeah, it's a step down.
But still a good indicator.
It's still a good indicator.
Of, like, regional character?
Yes, regional typicity, we call it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you might find, like, some really great Negroamaro wines.
That are labeled Negroamaro del Salento IGT.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means they're from that Salento Peninsula.
Yes.
Okay.
But maybe don't meet the strict Salice Salentino
rules.
DOC rules.
Got it. DOC. IGT.
IGT?
It's like learning a whole secret language.
It's so fun, though.
It is.
So right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else on the label?
Yeah, you might also see Reserva or Vecchio.
Yeah.
And those tell you the wine has been aged longer.
Okay.
So you're going to get more complexity and depth.
Okay. Reserva, Vecchio. Noted.
Good.
Okay, so we've decoded the labels.
Yes.
We've explored the terroir.
Yeah.
We talked about the winemakers. What else about Puglia?
Well, we talked about traditional winemaking, but there's a whole other side to the story.
Right.
Modern techniques.
Ooh, modern innovations. This is what I like to hear.
That are changing the game for Negroamaro.
Last time we were talking about how modern techniques are like changing the game for Negroamaro.
Right, like kind of shaking things up a bit.
Yeah, so what kind of innovations are we talking about here?
So one of the biggest is temperature-controlled fermentation.
Okay.
So traditionally, it was all about those big concrete tanks, relying on the natural yeasts and just the temperature of the air.
Yeah.
But now with temperature control, winemakers can like really fine-tune the fermentation process.
So they have a lot more control.
Way more control. Yeah. They can like really bring out specific notes, aromas, all that.
So it's like very precise.
Yeah, it's like they're conducting a symphony of flavors.
I love that analogy.
It's pretty cool.
So what other tricks do they have up their sleeve?
Another cool development is using different oak barrels for aging.
Okay.
Traditionally, they'd use those large oak casks.
Right.
And they would add, like, these subtle oaky flavors allow for slow oxidation. But now, winemakers are experimenting with smaller barrels made from different types of oak.
Oh, okay. Like what kind?
So you have French oak, American oak, Hungarian oak.
Wow.
And each one adds its own, like, unique twist to the wine.
So it's like they're choosing spices.
Yeah.
But instead of cumin and coriander, they're using oak and thyme.
I love that.
Right.
Yeah, thyme is an ingredient.
Okay, so are there any other modern techniques?
There are, yeah.
Okay, like what else is shaking things up?
So a technique that's becoming more popular is called microoxygenation.
Okay.
Basically, they introduce tiny amounts of oxygen into the wine during the aging process.
Okay, what does that do?
So it helps to soften the tannins and develop more complex aromas.
So it's like giving the wine a little spa treatment.
Yeah, a little TLC.
It's like pampering the wine.
It is. It's wine pampering.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But with all this talk of technology,
Yeah.
are we risking, like, losing that traditional
That's a good question.
handcrafted feel?
Yeah.
That makes Negroamaro so special.
Well, I think it's all about balance.
Okay.
The best winemakers are the ones who can, like, really bridge that gap between tradition and innovation.
Right.
They respect the heritage of Negroamaro, but they're also, like, embracing these new possibilities.
So they're not trying to, like, replace the old ways.
Right, exactly.
They're just, like, refining them.
You're just making them even better.
Okay, so it's like taking a classic recipe and giving it, like, a modern twist.
Exactly.
Yeah, but without, like, losing the soul of the dish.
You still want it to taste like it should.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like the future of Negroamaro is in good hands.
I think so, yeah.
So I'm dying to know, who are some of these rock star producers?
Oh, there are so many.
Who are really pushing those boundaries?
There's so many talented winemakers in Puglia.
Okay.
But a few that come to mind are Scola Sarmenti, a Canteen Menhir Salento, and Tenuta Rubino.
Okay, I'm writing these down.
You should check them out.
They're going on my wine shopping list.
Good.
So before we go there, what about aging?
Aging, yes.
And Negroamaro age?
It can.
Okay.
As with most things in wine, it depends.
It depends, okay.
Yeah, so some are meant to be enjoyed young and fresh.
Right.
And others have that structure and complexity to age for years, even decades.
So how can I tell which ones are, like, the keepers?
Okay, so look for wines with higher tannins, good acidity, and concentration of fruit.
Okay.
Those are the ones that, like, have the backbone to stand up to time.
Okay, and as they age, like, what happens?
So those tannins soften, the fruit develops, and then you get these incredible tertiary aromas.
Tertiary aromas? Like what?
Like leather.
Ooh.
Tobacco.
Okay.
Earthiness.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's like an adventure?
It is, yeah.
We're, like, slowly unraveling.
It's a slow burn.
Okay.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Okay, so we talked about the grape, we talked about the region.
Yes.
The winemaking, but what about the people behind it all?
The people, yes.
Those families who have been making this wine for generations.
The heart and soul of any wine region is the people.
Yeah, and in Puglia.
Yeah.
We have these families who've been tending those vineyards.
Yeah.
Passing down that knowledge.
Generation to generation.
For centuries.
Incredible.
That's like a beautiful legacy.
It is.
Right? It's a way of life.
It really is.
And in a world that's so focused on technology and globalization, how are these winemakers preserving their heritage?
It's a delicate dance between tradition and innovation.
Yeah.
Some winemakers they really hold steadfastly to the old ways.
Right.
They see themselves as guardians of their heritage. They believe in doing things the way their ancestors did.
It's like they're carrying a torch, right?
Hard,
Keeping that flame alive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have this new generation of winemakers who are embracing technology.
Yes.
Bringing, like, fresh ideas to the table.
Yeah, it's a really cool...
Sounds like a conversation.
It's a conversation.
Between the past and the present.
Between past and present.
Yeah, okay, and it's creating something special.
It really is.
Yeah, so tell me, who are some of these, like, passionate winemakers?
Oh, there's so many.
Whose stories do you think we should hear?
But if I had to choose a few, I would start with Francesco Mara. Of Canteen du Palm. He is a visionary leader. He's dedicated to producing high-quality, terroir-driven wines.
That's amazing.
And he's also a champion of sustainability. He's got eco-friendly practices.
That's amazing.
Both in the vineyards and the winery.
So not only, like, creating exceptional wines, but, like, really making sure that the land is taken care of.
Exactly. Yeah, long-term vision.
Wow. Okay. Any other winemakers that come to mind?
Yes, so Severino Garofano of Agricole Vallone. He's really passionate about organic and biodynamic farming. He believes that it's the purest way to express the true character of the Negroamaro grape.
And what about his wines?
His wines are so elegant. They're complex, and they have this real depth of flavor.
Wow. So it's another, like, really inspiring...
Yeah, he's a leader in the movement.
Okay, awesome. Anyone else?
Yes, I have to mention Lisa Gilby
Okay.
of Masseria Lavelli.
Okay.
She's a trailblazer.
Okay.
You know, a woman in a very male-dominated industry.
Yeah.
And her wines are just this beautiful expression.
That's so cool.
Of her passion and dedication.
It's so empowering to see women like her.
It is.
Like breaking barriers and like
yeah.
making their mark.
I agree.
On the wine world.
It's really inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so their stories are just like a testament to like resilience and creativity and passion that thrives in Puglia.
For sure.
Okay, but before we get too like caught up in the human element, let's bring it back to the wine itself.
The wine. Okay.
We talked about different styles of Negroamaro.
Yeah.
But one thing that's been on my mind is food pairing.
Food pairing. Oh, yes.
We touched on like classic Italian pairings.
Yeah.
But where else does Negroamaro shine?
Oh, Negroamaro is such a versatile grape.
Okay.
It's got this boldness structure, that little hint of bitterness that makes it a great match for a surprising range of cuisines.
Okay, give me some examples.
All right, so if you love bold flavors, a full-bodied, oak-aged Negroamaro
would be incredible with grilled meats.
Okay, like what kind?
So think like smoky barbecue brisket.
Okay.
Or a juicy Argentinian steak.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
I know, right?
Yeah.
The tannins cut through the richness of the meat.
Okay.
And then those dark fruit and spice notes just complement those smoky flavors.
You're making me hungry.
I know, right?
But what about something a bit more, like, exotic?
Ooh, exotic.
Can Negroamaro handle the heat?
It can.
Okay.
So it can stand up to spicy cuisines like Indian or Thai curries.
Interesting.
Yeah. The fruitiness and acidity balance the spice.
Okay.
And the earthy notes complement the aromas of the curry.
I never would have thought of pairing Negroamaro with curry.
It's really good.
But now I'm intrigued.
You got to try it.
Okay, so any other unexpected pairings?
For something lighter?
Okay.
Try a young, fruity Negroamaro with grilled fish, like swordfish or tuna.
Okay.
The acidity cuts through the oiliness.
And the berry notes complement the delicate flavors.
I'm loving this.
Yeah.
It's like Negroamaro is a culinary chameleon.
It is.
Adapting to all these different flavor profiles.
It's a very food-friendly wine.
Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Negroamaro,
I'm sad to see it go.
What are your final thoughts on its future?
It's a very exciting time for Negroamaro.
Okay.
I think its star is only going to rise.
That's great.
Yeah, people are discovering its unique charm.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a growing demand for these high-quality Negroamaro wines.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to, like, drive its continued success?
So there's a growing interest in indigenous grape varieties.
Okay.
And Negroamaro, with its long history and connection to Puglia, really fits that trend.
Right.
Plus, there's this growing awareness of sustainability.
Right.
And many Pugliese winemakers are leading the way with eco-friendly practices.
That's like they're not only crafting, like, delicious wines, but they're also making, like, a positive impact at the environment.
Yes.
So that's something I can raise a glass to.
Cheers to that.
Okay. Any other, like, trends you see?
So wine tourism is booming in Puglia.
Okay.
It's a beautiful region, amazing food, rich culture, stunning landscapes.
Yeah.
And as more people visit and, like, experience the wines firsthand, I think the word is going to spread about the quality and, like, the uniqueness of Negroamaro.
Okay.
And then, of course, there's the passion and creativity of the winemakers themselves. They're always pushing boundaries, innovating, creating exceptional wines.
So the future is bright.
It is.
And in good hands.
It is.
So our deep dive into the world of Negroamaro.
I think it's been a success.
I think it has been a success.
I've learned a lot.
Me too.
Yeah.
We've learned about its history, its terroir.
The flavors.
The food pairings. The people. It's been quite a journey.
It has.
So I hope we've inspired you to like, seek out a bottle.
Seek out a bottle.
Or two of Negroamaro.
Or 2 or 3.
And experience, like, it's magic for yourself.
Yes, experience the
Cheers to that. And to all those passionate winemakers who are keeping that legacy of Negroamaro alive.
Keeping the legacy alive.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Happy exploring.
Happy exploring.